A saleswoman from the counter next door leaned over and asked a simple question: was YSL giving something away for free? It wasn't a joke. She'd watched a line form, watched it not stop forming, watched the register jam not once but repeatedly, and concluded that the only explanation for that kind of crowd was that nobody was actually paying for anything. Rabbit News Hallyu digs into the story behind the story, and this one starts with an outsider's honest confusion at a Hong Kong shopping mall on August 19th. The setting was K11 MUSEA in Tsim Sha Tsui. YSL had brought in Xiao Zhan, its global brand ambassador for the skincare line, for a Qixi festival appearance. On paper, that's a standard beauty brand activation: an ambassador shows up, photos happen, the day ends. What happened instead was closer to a retail stress test, and the person who ended up describing it most precisely wasn't a fan at all. The saleswoman got her answer, and it wasn't the one she expected. Nothing was being given away. Every transaction at that counter was a real purchase, rung up one after another until the point-of-sale machine physically could not keep pace and needed emergency servicing twice in the same day. That's the detail worth sitting with before moving on, because it changes the shape of the story. This wasn't a crowd showing up to look. It was a crowd showing up to buy, in volume high enough that the equipment designed to process purchases failed under the load. And unlike almost every other metric used to measure a celebrity appearance, a broken card reader isn't something a publicist can spin after the fact. The operational picture backs this up in specifics that go beyond one anecdote. One staff member described working the counter for 2.5 hours without a break. Customers didn't just queue once, they queued to get into the store, then queued again separately to pay, each person visibly carrying the products they'd already committed to buying. This is a detail that matters because it describes structure, not spectacle. A structured double queue is what happens when a retail space adapts, in real time, to demand it wasn't built for. Nobody designs a counter layout for this. It gets improvised on the spot, which is usually a sign that whatever's happening wasn't anticipated at that scale. Eventually the demand outgrew the space entirely. With crowds building across multiple floors of the mall, K11 MUSEA made the call to temporarily halt operations and evacuate for safety, with police called in to assist. That's not a detail brands usually want attached to a marketing event. A temporary shutdown is, on its face, a logistics failure. But it's also the clearest available evidence that the turnout wasn't performative. You don't evacuate a mall for a crowd that's only there to take pictures. A photo op crowd disperses once the photo happens. A crowd that has to be cleared for safety is a crowd that had somewhere it intended to be and something it intended to do once it got there. It's worth pausing on why this distinction matters for anyone watching from outside the fandom itself. Brand ambassador deals in the luxury sector are expensive, and for years, the return on that investment has mostly been measured in soft numbers: social media reach, event attendance, press coverage. Those numbers are useful for building a narrative, but they're also relatively easy to inflate, coordinate, or simply overstate. A point-of-sale terminal breaking down from actual transaction volume is a much harder thing to manufacture. It's not a headline a publicist writes. It's an equipment failure a technician has to physically respond to on a timeline nobody controls. This is where the story moves past a single shopping trip and into something closer to an industry signal. In this specific case, a Chinese entertainment figure's ambassadorship translated into measurable, same-day retail conversion inside a competitive luxury retail environment, one where a rival brand's own staff were direct, unplanted witnesses to it. That's a narrower and more useful claim than fans showed up, because it comes with a mechanism attached: overloaded hardware, extended staffing hours, a full evacuation. The available evidence doesn't tell us this always happens with C-ent ambassadors, or that it will repeat at the next campaign, or at a different mall, with a different product line. What it does support is a specific, documented instance where enthusiasm and spending were, provably, the same event rather than two separate things loosely associated with each other. The presence of senior brand leadership adds another layer worth noting without overreading it. YSL's general manager, alongside L'Oréal's luxury retail director and the brand's marketing director, were reportedly on-site for the appearance. Executives don't typically fly in for events they expect to be quiet, and a marketing director hosting group photos with the visiting leadership isn't standard for a routine counter appearance. Their presence doesn't prove strategy or intent on its own. That would be reading further into the evidence than the evidence supports. But it does place decision-makers physically in the room for exactly the kind of outcome that makes an ambassador contract easy to defend internally at renewal time, whenever that conversation happens. There's a second, quieter version of this same day happening elsewhere in the city, and it's worth including because it shows the range of how support actually showed up, not just how much of it there was. Away from the mall, near Victoria Harbour, fans who couldn't get into the main event lit red light sticks and fluorescent tubes from hotel windows facing the water, echoing the color associated with the artist. In at least one office setting, the same red lighting reportedly appeared at individual desks during work hours, spreading from one employee's monitor to nearby colleagues' desks and drawers, turning an ordinary workday corner into something closer to a coordinated, if informal, display. None of that involved a single purchase. It cost nothing and generated no receipts, no transaction logs, no broken equipment. Compared side by side, the two scenes describe two different kinds of fan energy that don't always show up together in the same market on the same day. One is visibility without cost. The other is cost without needing visibility at all. Nobody buying skincare at a mall counter was doing it to be photographed. On this particular day, in this particular city, both versions of support happened within a few hours of each other, which is a coincidence of timing worth noting rather than a pattern worth generalizing from a single Tuesday. There's also a reason this particular pairing matters beyond Hong Kong. Global luxury brands have been steadily expanding ambassador contracts with C-ent talent specifically because those artists carry audiences across multiple markets at once: mainland China, Hong Kong, Southeast Asia, and increasingly international fan bases who follow the same appearances online in real time. For a brand evaluating whether that kind of contract is worth renewing or expanding into new regions, a single afternoon that produces both viral, cost-free visibility and hard, receipted sales data in one location is close to the ideal case study. It doesn't prove the model works everywhere. It does show what the model looks like when every part of it fires at once in the same few city blocks. Which brings the story back to that first question at the YSL counter. Are you giving away free gifts? It's a small, almost throwaway line, the kind that wouldn't normally survive into a final report. But it's also the cleanest evidence in the entire story, precisely because of who said it. A rival employee has no reason to inflate a competitor's numbers, no fan account to run, no incentive to make YSL's day sound bigger than it was. She wasn't trying to make a point about fandom or marketing or the entertainment industry. She just couldn't otherwise explain what she was looking at, standing a few feet away with her own, quieter counter. And the honest answer she got back, that people were simply buying, over and over, until the machine gave out, says more about the actual commercial weight of a brand ambassador appearance than any press release, fan count, or trending hashtag could. It's a rare thing in entertainment coverage, a data point nobody had to ask for, generated by someone with no stake in whether it made anyone look good. That's usually where the real story in entertainment coverage lives. Not in the size of the crowd, and not in how loudly it shows up, but in the moment someone with no stake in the outcome is forced to stop and ask what's actually going on in front of them. If you like entertainment stories that go beyond the headline, the kind that look for the quiet signals most coverage misses, Rabbit News Hallyu was built for exactly that. Subscribe if you want analysis, not just updates.